Today is going to be about 5 stories, 5 headlines that are already happening, literally happening this week. You didn't vote on, you didn't set the policy, you probably thought you were safe, but these things are affecting you more than you realize. Let's jump into today 5 stories that if we learn from them, we will gain wisdom, seek discernment, and get a common sense approach of how to protect our family. Let's jump into it today. This video starts right now. You down. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so much for being here today. You are under the porch once again because it is raining. I'm not complaining. We needed the rain. If you check out our vlog channel, we talk a lot more about the dryness and the drought we've had. So check that vlog channel out. Also remember, today is your last day to get into the giveaway for tomorrow. We're actually doing the picking today. So if you're not subscribed, you have not commented and give us a thumbs up, this is your last chance for this giveaway. We do a giveaway every month just to say thank you. So please, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comments that you're subscribed. Tell us what you think about the video, of course, but we want to enter you in the giveaway, and we will be giving that away tomorrow and showing you exactly what it is. So let's jump into today's video because I want you to hopefully gain some wisdom through what we're going to be talking about, and I want you to do your own research because these will impact you more than you know. Number 1, there was a story that came out that said Biden is considering giving $10 billion more to Iran through sanctions waiver. Now let's think about that. Iran is funding Hamas. Iran is funding the opposite side of the war that we're fighting. They're also tied to the drone strikes that's happening in Syria, reportedly. So why in the world are we allowing them to have more and more billions? Then turn around and hate us or cause harm to our military. The news comes after Hamas and a Palestinian terrorist group has been backed by Iran, murdered over 1,200 people in Israel, wounded 5,300 others, and still have Americans in captivity. And your president is wanting to give them $10 billion more. Is that just a push for more defense spending? Just think about it. Why else would we be giving $10 billion more and unfreezing money for them to basically give it back to harm Americans? Number 2, New York's governor is now collecting, this is already happening, now collecting data from surveillance efforts on social media to monitor what we deem as hate speech. Now the question is, who deems speech hate speech? What is free speech? Well, that's a slippery slope. If someone speaks in opposition to the governor, if it be right wing, left wing, whatever it may be, libertarian, would that be considered opposition speech, free speech, or would that be considered hate speech? Who is the one that deems that what it is? Again, our freedom of talk and our freedom of speech is part of the First Amendment. But now we see leadership and government overreach and control. That could be a very dangerous precedent that we are setting now here in New York. This is what the governor said. It's painful to me that as the governor of this great state that has been known for its diversity, how we celebrate different cultures, different religions, different viewpoints. It's painful to see the cruelty New Yorkers are treating each other. So that's why this has got to be handled. We cannot allow this to control us. So is she setting up the group that now considers what is hate speech? Do you think that the conservatives are gonna have a little bit more surveilled on them than what maybe the liberals would be? I don't know. Something to ponder, because we're seeing those rights slowly slip away. A slippery slope. Before number 3, let me tell you about today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Mud Water. Mud Water is a coffee alternative. Tastes like cacao and chai had a baby and made this awesome drink. It gives you all-day energy without the crazy crash or even the jitters that coffee sometimes gives you. I love coffee, but there's times when I don't sleep a lot and when I'm trying to drink a little caffeine that actually it makes me feel even worse. Start getting really tingly. Now in the morning it's not as bad, but the afternoon when I just want a pick-me-up and a natural caffeine, I look to Mud Water. I have been swapping my afternoon coffee time to Mud Water, adding the little coconut sweetener in it, and it is a great natural way to get the caffeine to keep going throughout the day, again without the little dive that sometimes coffee gives you. Now personally I was a little skeptical because I didn't really know what it would taste like. It's made up of mushrooms, several mushrooms that are good for me, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. All of a sudden I realized It's really good. It doesn't taste like muddy water. I actually like adding milk and honey in mine. It's made up of cacao and 4 main mushrooms. Each ingredient that's in mud water has a purpose. Cacao and chai, of course, for the caffeine, but it also gives you that kind of chocolatey flavor that you really enjoy about coffee or even hot cocoa. Lion's mane mushroom for focus, really good for us. Cordyceps mushrooms for promoting energy, that is natural by the way. And chaga and reishi to support a healthy immune system. So now you're balancing out your enjoyable caffeinated coffee drink. Now you're adding the superfoods to it, and now you've got the best of both worlds, the caffeine and also an organic natural superfood. Plus, if you're like me, you like eating organic, non-GMO, kosher, gluten-free, vegan, it pretty much allows you in any kind of diet, even Whole30, to be able to utilize this drink on your plan. Mudwater is hooking up my viewers with a special discount and a whole bunch of freebies. If you go to mudwater.com/themax, you get $20 off your subscription, a free frother, some free samples of the coconut creamer and the sweetener. That's mudwater/themax. Again, if you like coffee, don't replace it, but replace maybe 1 cup of it. Maybe your afternoon, maybe your early morning, where you feel a little jittery or you feel like something's empty on your stomach and you don't have time to eat. Mudwater could be what solves that problem, and you will enjoy it and also get the superfood benefits. Thanks for Mudwater supporting this video today. Now back to the content. All right, number 3, this came from Peter Schiff. I thought this was huge. It says, due to the weak economy and rising rates, the national debt is over $33.7 trillion, an increase of $700 billion just in 6 weeks. 6 weeks, a $700 billion increase. At this pace, listen, this is where it gets scary. At this pace, the national debt is growing at an excess of $5 trillion per year, despite the official deficit projections under $2 trillion, meaning we were already going to be under budgeted and overspending by $2 trillion each year. So we're spending way too much. Now that is projected to maybe even be $5 trillion. Not only that, because interest rates are up, and they should stay up a little bit because I believe our economy is too volatile to start lowering rates again. But if it stays this high, which it probably needs to, and the amount of debt we're spending, do you understand that that means where we're spending $1 trillion a year just in interest on the debt, we're going to be going well over that if we over double the number of the deficit per year. $5 trillion. 6 weeks added $700 billion to our debt. That's unbelievable. We have to get a hold of it, because what we're doing is we're affecting our children, our grandchildren. The only way to fix that is a reset of some sort, and that could be dangerous, because that means there may be a currency reset. That means there may be a whole viewpoint of the freedoms of how you spend your money. All that will change, or either we've got to get a hold on it and we've got to start cutting spending. Goes along with this. In the same jobs report, it said that we added 999,000 jobs in the private sector. Well, that sounds good. Here's the thing though. Those were exclusively, almost exclusively part-time jobs, meaning they were for low-paying jobs. They went to a lot of people that already had 1 or 2 jobs. A number of Americans working multiple jobs soared to almost 400,000. So almost half that number were people getting a 2nd or 3rd job to cover the expenses. That's the all-time high record, by the way. Listen to this, the government also hired 51,000 new employees. So that means the government got bigger at the same time that the private sector is what's supposed to be given the jobs. The government is supposed to give the environment to hire people instead of hiring everybody. So instead of the jobs numbers actually looking good, it's because everybody's having to get more jobs just to pay for the things they have and cover their own debts or cover their own spending because of inflation and interest. That is scary. Number 4, Migrant Crisis has cost the U.S. taxpayer over $451 billion, with the B, billion, says a report by the House GOP. Americans could pay upwards of $451 billion to care for the migrants who are entering the U.S. illegally, but have been released into our country and have escaped from custody. Meaning, we're the ones that we have to pay for this. We have to fund this illegal immigration. And you know, I think they balked at Trump wanting to build a wall that was just a few $1 billion. A few $1 billion for our safety and security, and also to cover the loss of $451 billion. Do you believe these illegal immigrants are coming in and they're going to work and start paying taxes and start contributing to society? No, they came in illegally, so they have to be taken care of. They have to be put in certain places. They can't contribute to the U.S. economy and the U.S. society because they're here illegally. And you're on the hook. I'm on the hook Our children are on the hook for $451 billion. That goes along with the deficit of the trillions. It's so many billions and trillions that I believe we almost gloss over because it's so unbelievable that it's almost, it's to a point where there'll never be a time we could probably pay it all off. It's going to take a major catastrophic event, most likely, for this debt to be gone. And I don't know if any of us are ready for that. And number 5, it goes along with this whole movement of illegal immigration. The spending is crazy, and we're putting ourselves in wars. Well, all of a sudden it came out that Boeing expands missile factories to support America's defense situation. It's proxies, it's wars. So when we start seeing our troops, our deployments, our ships, our munitions go over to certain areas, and then all of a sudden it's like we put ourselves in harm's way. We put ourselves in Syria, we put ourselves in the Middle East, and it's something that we shouldn't even be in. And all of a sudden we start getting bombed, we start getting drone strikes on us, like 50 drone strikes just on that one military base. We start seeing soldiers being placed over there. We're putting ourselves in harm's way for what? Basically to put ourselves in a precarious situation, so all of a sudden something bad happens to our military, something bad happens to one of our soldiers, and then it puts us right into a war. Wasn't it amazing that our government contractors, these defense contractors, are all of a sudden just expanding their military operations to build more munitions and build more technology that our military is needing? Why would they be doing that? Now, do I want a strong military? Do I want to protect American people? Absolutely. But if we're expanding it, it's not to protect our borders, it's not to protect our sovereignty, because we're sending our troops everywhere else. We're sending our munitions everywhere else. We're not worried about our border security. We're sending across seas because we're expanding to what looks like another war. And a war in the Middle East, which will affect your petroleum and oil use, your gas, your cost, and also the fact that, again, our children and grandchildren will be affected because someone's got to fight this war. And I don't think they're looking for 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70-year-olds. They're looking for our children. So as we wrap it up, you hear the rain. I love hearing rain because we needed it. Please pay attention to these stories. Do your own research. I'm gonna be doing another story on a sort of what they call a reverse market crash. I think we're seeing the starts of it. Now, some people have talked about that. Bigger financial channels may have talked about it too. I want you to do a little research on the stories that we talked about today, but also on reverse market crash. I think we're setting America up that way, where our debts are going crazy. We're getting a little bit better inflation numbers, which is a farce, by the way. But then all of a sudden, if our stock markets go up but our debts not come down, we're gonna say goodbye to the middle class, and we're gonna see something like a reverse market crash, which is really as bad as a depression. So we're going to talk a little bit more in depth on that in the next coming few days. We're working on a video on that. I want you to subscribe so you can be up to date on what's going on, but also remember, when you subscribe, you are entered into the giveaway. We're going to be doing a major giveaway tomorrow. We can't wait to show you what it is, but today's your last day to get in on that giveaway. If you subscribe after that, that's no problem. There's another giveaway at the end of the month, and also another giveaway in December around Christmas. It's another phenomenal gift. So please be subscribed to our channel. Also check out Mudwater. They're a great company to enjoy a good drink, especially when you're trying to relax when you hear all this crazy news. Guys, thank you so much for watching. You mean the world to me when you share your days with me. I'm humbled and so grateful that you're here watching our channel. Guys, thank you for watching. God bless. Happy Homestead.
Didn't I make you laugh? Didn't I make you smile? Didn't I make you feel like you were happy for a while?